just typed this word, and now it's here again.
Diva.
Don't blink, learning happens faster than you think. So as I'm talking, I'm going to start showing photos that are completely not related to anything that I'm saying, but the goal is to break this up. See the photos and I'm going to start organizing them into folders because I wasn't able to do that before. If you need to support a skill set that you don't have, like using folders online and labeling them, then do it in bits and pieces. The first step is put the visuals online, right? Screenshot and then upload, airdrop, put them on my desktop. And then, I don't know. You know what? Let's just get started. The point is you're going to see a lot of random photos. They're going to be related to the board of directors and the building group, all right? Because this is going to go under S.O. Smiley, since they are the origin of how I got to relive, well, being yelled at, being mistreated, and purposely retriggering because of status as a survivor of housing discrimination. Because I'll tell you about the people's experience who live there and what they've shared to me. Let's start with how to get rid of CHA. You just have to make a complaint on them. So people get odd complaints made on them all the time to kick them out, and that's not fair. This is Smarty MC with SmarterThanTrauma, and I'm ready to tackle marketing. So what's the best way to self-promote or promote your cause? Get support for your objective, which for me is to change a couple of the laws and make consequences if your school or an individual group in a position of power that harms kids with special needs. Because Chicago Public Schools is a company with more than 50 or 100 people, according to state law, there's no consequence. They have to post for 3 days that this school was found in violation of OSHA safety and that their behavior could have led to bodily harm or damage to individuals who come here. Did they post that in the office? Of course not, because I had some people on the inside telling me what was going on. Because in a school like that, man, you can't keep what's going on quiet. Gossip. And why I always walk away from it until I was forced to sit with it. And that's why this whole methodology is to sit uncomfortably with these triggers until you understand why do they exist. Because it is your survival. The word that I forgot in one of the postings ages ago is self-preservation. So I'm not going to be able to I'm not going to be able to find it. So no wonder everything's all confused and doesn't make sense. If we sit down and have a conversation, you ask me any question about trauma and how I am doing this method, then okay, it will make sense because I don't know what your questions are. I don't know what your understanding is. But please accept that I probably have more real life experience with this, both being an advocate and a victim, survivor, patient, and exposed to things that I never expected to after having a lot of education as a behavioralist and special ed and also a moral education, which is super duper necessary when you are exposed to specialists taking advantage of their specialty. And the fact that we just think they're better than us, more honest than us, and that we don't have the right to question them. Well, I get that because after months and sometimes years, the first time I question them, because it's so scary to question an adult in authority, especially after mental abuse, gaslighting, domestic violence, and so on. You wait. And that's how I know. This is something they're not typically used to. So this is what I use to apply to social services. So that's how I know how I got here. It wasn't just out of the blue. I needed the support of Northwestern Memorial Hospital mainly, as well as UIC, their psychiatric department. So I'm still trying to contact you about a neuropsychological exam you did that showed me how the parameters are off. Anyway, if you get through this podcast, good for you. Please note that if you want to know where to go next, you're gonna have to look at SOS Smiley. S.O. Smiley. So find the description, find the link, figure out where it is, and if you can watch those and stomach those, just know that that discomfort, that dissatisfaction, that revulsion, discord, disharmony, dist were my kids. I keep doing it. Why? Because I want to make sure that you know what this looks like and feels like and sounds like. Because the stigma from the Northwestern Memorial Hospital gave me a lot of lies. And let's start putting those lies back to them. So let's start unpacking those lies to understand why you would risk your name, your position, your title, the fancy pants position, that you absolutely made it very clear to me that that's all you care about. So why are you here trying to say to help people? And that's when a doctor pops up, a DO, connected to Doc Love, who warned me about doctors at this hospital because he was a teaching professor there. No, great. He was a doctor who also did teaching professionals. I don't know. And warned me what hospitals are all about. So thank you for the forewarning. And that's why when RIC I entered, they were giving me warnings, the clients there. I was reminded of him and Doc Love, which is this brainwashing. And why when somebody told me about being brainwashed by Doc Love, I was aware of it. So when you have some sort of experience with something, you feel a little more powerful and capable of dealing with it. And that's why I was meant to meet out of the arms of the abuser, because Neptune named his oppressor. And I just simply heard him and made the automatic decision to protect him. So whatever this person wanted, this cat is defenseless and like a child. So what would you do? All right, are we ready for domestic violence, mental abuse, gaslighting, grooming, sibling bullying, as well as parental bullying, and of course, insane greed, which is the origin of Elcott College Prep, and a family that told me, Nobody will believe you. We all stick together and I can do whatever I want. Really? So let's start with Chicago Parks District and Larry Labiak. You want to follow, that's on Facebook. Love community, and I hope you do, because guess what? I need some help out here. My fear is held back because my voice is up. But that can flip day by day, hour to hour, moment by moment, because I'm living in the moment. And if you live in the moment like me, because of trauma, violence, PTSD, using all these different apps as I go through my healthcare. Sorry, my hair, I gotta wash my hair. Whew, I've had a couple days of flare-ups, so I have just been sitting in toasty, roasty water. Ooh, letting nerve pain go down. But I did find an acupuncturist. Oh my God. Went to Chinatown. Here, other diagnoses that relate to the brain and body being disconnected or connected, then please share. Please know you have somebody out there that cares and will protect you. It's just a conversation. It's just a conversation. Doc Love. And I heard of that later when someone's describing to me how they were brainwashed by women and possibly their fraternity. You're telling me that the fraternity is where you learn how to basically manipulate women in a way that takes advantage of our, biology. Thanks for letting me know, guys. I appreciate that. Take care. Help me rewire my brain. And if not, then take this information, apply it to your life. And as an advocate, somebody who has to help others, because that's what my promise was, if I can help you, I will, absolutely. Then know that moving forward, I can't teach you this. So you got to catch up with me. So what are your questions? Why? Because I learned, finally, it took a while, I can't assess everybody's understanding. And I can't keep prompting people to share with me what they understand. You have to get there yourselves. But that's education. So let's begin. Which reminds me of all the stuff I was avoiding in the past, like the hygienic stuff, it is kind of gross. Okay. The biggest one is not washing my hair. You understood the fact that I was doing something different, and you shared your experience with charity and working with those disadvantaged. I sat and I triggered with you constantly. That's why I spoke so quickly and had a hard time transferring to get out of the building. Remember when you had to escort me out when it was like past the end of the day? I'm like, I didn't even know. That felt like 2 seconds. You introduced me to television for the first time after never having a TV because of a show. So I got Hulu. I watched it. I'm pretty sure that was the vampire one. I told you, is it scary? And you said, no, it's a comedy. I said, okay. That was the best way in because it dealt with the contrast. You used the word flirtations, flirty, something outside the office. And I said, that would not be okay. But I appreciate me being able to contact you directly because of the disability. If that's why we're exchanging numbers, and that's fine. If it's something else, then no. And I don't understand why I know about your trauma, except I do because I'm an advocate. So you do understand the advocacy. And finally, you were going to order cookies. So you got everything because that's the safe way to do it, being a female. So you totally lied and kept me going until the evaluation. That was what it was about because you even said it. And then later, just happened recently, somebody said, if you give me a good evaluation, I can get a raise. And it clicked. And that's why I'm like, boom. It clicked. That's why I'm like, boom. And that's what this person was telling me about his evaluation. What he was making, his increases. Okay, and the words, I made more than my father on his last day working last year. Nice. What the hell? Why are you talking to me like this? When and I'm just going to let out these about verbal things because the template was do it ourselves. Cool. So I'm going to start writing about educational discrimination as I verbally plant the seeds. Then I'm going to deal with this discrimination crap with the housing, the building group, online as it's happening or not happening. I don't know if it's still going on. I have no idea. Nobody contacts me and I don't know how to contact unless I do. Every so often I say things are okay, but I'm struggling at the same time. This is the information you asked me for. It took me 6 weeks to get it to you, but I did get it to you. Anyway, they made it public when they said, we're going to keep this between lawyers and an email. I'm like, that's fine. But then they announced it. I'm like, just respond to something. I don't care. Again, I don't have a lawyer, so am I supposed to find one? No. Now, so my question to you is, do you want to be called a spirit crusher, a butthole, or a poser? Phony baloney. It all means the same thing, but which one is the least offensive to you? And I know what my answer would be. I told you what triggers trauma for me, and you literally removed a bunch of it through your professionalism and care for Mr. Baker. And then I find out you just think he's an angry, crazy old man, and the cookies were never going to be in order. I just needed one company to take me serious. I didn't need anything else. And it happened. You did something remarkable. And now you're not my account manager. So who do I get to talk to now? Who's safe here? Because quite frankly, I don't think I want your business. I don't want to be in business with you. You were only introduced to me through somebody who preferred Citibank, but was rejected. And that's why Mr. You, I don't know if I want to say your name because it's harder work for me to remove it. I don't know if you understood that. And if you understood that, you did understand, then you get full credit. I don't even know what the sentence was. So when I listen to this again, I'm going to correct it. And that's how quickly the working memory fades. And that is why I do let it out. That's it. So what do you want to be called? Because I'm writing the story. I need to remove my stuff from you guys. I need a letter stating that what happened. If ever anybody asks me and this comes up again and you become a trigger, I can remind myself of the event. I brought a witness today and I'm recording this. So I'm doing everything I can do in my power not to have a suicidal attempt or inclination, which is different if you want to talk about that. Because I am the expert, and I guess that's why I know about your financial issues as a child. And I'm not talking about it. I'm letting you know. Don't stop messing with me. I don't want your cookie order. I just don't promote. So this is the safe space you rejected in because I already know who you are. And if that's harsh, I was a school teacher with CPS kids. You have no idea what I've dealt with. Oppositional defiant disorder, homicidal inclinations, because I'm reminded of his mother because I have dark hair. What the hell is that? She's Mexican. I'm like, what? But it doesn't matter. These kids see one thing and they see red. So that's what we're preventing here if you don't understand that. Because I'm not leaving this building without an account manager who understands disability and a signature, whatever you choose, to be named, you will be named, but I will never share your voice. But that's your option. Or make it easier for me so I don't have to type it out and give consent. Or not. Or recognize there's another alternative that I haven't thought of and share that. But no, it's real. PTSD is real. I'm in the embodiment of it. I told you. I'm three-dimensional in an open mic, and we talked about art and music, performance art, and your anxieties. And I'm not allowed to share your mental health with strangers. And that's why I told you in the text messages, this is a trigger. I'm putting away suicide. And now we're confronting the issue head on. So what are we going to do about it? I do not understand how my money works and I will find an alternative. This is all bad. The definition of reasonable. I need to get it out here, and I need to move on. Discuss that. And you need to move on. That's the level I'm at. You come after me because I'm living. That's fine. Every second. We'll have the conversation publicly. And again, but I will have to remind me stuck on a cookie order for me. What the hell? Equal the realization you need to accept. When you do things, it not. See, I protected you. The extent is you're not safe. Stalked again. We talked about violence, so I'm putting myself at risk because I will not catch it. I shared my last name in a public space. Not my ideal. None of it matters. You know what? All right, so this is the preparation for meeting with a banker because unfortunately there's other banker triggers. Obviously, the gallery owners, the bankers connected to the activist, the banker who used his child with special needs to, I guess, have dates with me. Which I'm thinking, aren't you supposed to update me on your kid? You're sending me information about IAP meeting, losing touch. And yeah, no problem. I get it. Things happen. How are things now? Oh yeah, I gotta update you. It's like, well, why don't you just update me? This is so I don't get it. And then I called him out publicly after not responding with his own words. I'm interested in your methodology. And I'm interested in policy changes for special education methodology. Not present in my mind at the moment because I was not thinking I was doing it. Just a way to document how to replicate this and remember it for others so I can help them. Because as a teacher and a moral person, I don't know anything else. I'm sorry. I guess I'm stupid. But this person also has stability, accountability, reliability, integrity, and all the things my parents and my siblings taught what to do and what never to do. That is what I'm going to help you do too. All right? Thanks, everyone. It's just about making good choices every day and having confidence in the choices that you don't be afraid of mistakes. They help us reveal those avenues to take new places, new spaces where we must be aware. There's people out there that do not care. Build that shield, that armor. The way I do it, makeup, fashion, and have you eaten today? How I got started getting out of my house was looking for homeless. And the one that I got really good at routine was medical advocacy because that is every day to weigh and to do blood pressure. All right, there's a lot going on here. But the cool thing is now that I've unleashed it, we can finally begin. That's consent. I am protected because I said I am Christian. So my purpose is not to be worthless. My purpose is to help others. And the two things I can think of to help others. No statute of limitation. Sometimes it takes time to get that voice. And I had multiple industries rejecting me. There should have been a report when I reported it back in 2015, 16, 17, 18. Not until Larry on a community board got me in touch with Eileen Robinson. Aileen, don't remember. Okay. All I know is I have a paper trail that's a digital trail of my triggers, trauma, suicide, connected to you over there. You absolutely lied, rejected things, and were so nice, apologizing for everything. Phony balonies. Leave us alone. Survivor victims, patients could do better with those that listen to real feedback. That's how you hit this shit and run home All right, baseball. Go home, Jamie. Get the fuck home before dark. So much anxiety. So the one place that I really practiced getting to was Logan Square. The irony is, right as I got good at going to Logan Square, this one location, the only safe place I could go in the city after being assaulted in my neighborhood and the neighborhood north of me, Logan Square, was not a safe, not a violence, not an unsafe neighborhood with violence. By the time I figured it out, it took a long time because construction would throw me off. It taught me a lot about why location direction is not connecting for some reason. And then they moved. But they moved even closer. And that's the funny thing. I just realized how the last conversation. So, no thank you. And that's why, good luck to you and your See words. You later. You're dead to me. So those aren't my words, but I'm going to say them once and one time only. To model how to remove an audio trigger on replay. And because there's so many more connections, this has been, I don't know where it is. 2-3 decade friendship. I have to go back in time. How old am I? 2-decade friendship. Those are your words. The fact this is how we put it away. Nope. The last step is pen, pencil, penis to paper. I gotta get to rape culture. And this is the safest way to do it with everything behind me. All the stuff that helped. British Library, Scotland, that tartan sheep in my dreams. It became vivid in a different way. I've never dreamt like this. And that's why different. Celebrate it today. 13 minutes. I think I gotta wind this down. My body be hurting, aching. I remember it now. I will write about the rape. There's no way to escape because it's mental, it's gaslighting, and it's not a way to be when you see it again and again and again. So predatory behavior is something I've never witnessed before. And what is it that I'm seeing here? And one day somebody described it to me and it was amazing because this person was 100% safe due to a disability paraplegia. All right. So this is the point. I got a perspective after violence from someone, a male perspective, an honest perspective about these things because of their trauma, their tragedy, their darkness. That's the thing. Their sensory changes, etc. I threw mine into education. And that's why I keep saying, that's why everything I post is legit. It is in the moment. I don't have to listen to it again. Just keep it with the timestamp. And if people ask questions, good. We need to have a conversation. Anyway. I think I have my voice back, so I have a couple of things that I'd like to get done before I dilly-dally anymore. And I gotta admit, it is very hard to figure this stuff out, but I'm gonna do my best to do so now. All right, it had to happen. It had to happen. So it's very hard for me to be in my bathroom space. This is where I hid with my cat Neptune. And when I changed my home, this was the first space I changed. So that to me is significant. I'm also noticing some changes in my faces when I talk, or my face when I talk. My the right side that's not been engaged much is engaged. So eventually I'm going to do a video with me talking just to record that. My mouth is doing a lot of funky crap. And that's where I realized I'm talking asymmetrically. So there is an indicator that something happened to me. I kept thinking, I want a dent in my head. At least that will help people put away that anticipation and dread. Anyway, this is the reflection of the Twitter. It's on the I'm Smarty MC. This is the SmarterThanTrauma podcast broadcasting. And it's considered a reflection, so the second go. First go is on Twitter, so you have to find that. And you can match the dates, so it'll be the same day. And this will be the motivator to put more visuals away. So as I talk, strongest, I'm just going to flash the visuals. Like I said, it's just a record to keep it somewhere on the iCloud before, all the evidence disappears and I can't make sense of it. No, I'll always make sense of it because it's PTSD, but eventually I'll be able to talk about it. I'm just still in shock and I'm not going to harm my body. That's the choice I'm making. So no wonder the system doesn't work because it's designed to fail because you trigger people and you say, I didn't understand. Yeah, you do. You're doing it purposely. How do I know? Well, I'll prove it to you because you knew. You didn't really want to hurt me that bad. You looked at the bottle before you threw it at my head. Made sure it wasn't full. Hey, you did that. And I hear my voice and your reaction. So I got my information. Because I lived it. Thank you. I am done for something that I am the girl that I was made to do. Thanks for dropping the seeds for marriage. Yes, a woman can complete a man. I do want what everyone wants. That survivor, victim, patient loss is gone. And yet it hasn't ever really changed. It's always been about family. Thank you. Hi, this is Smarty MC with SmarterThanTrauma. What you're going to listen to next is me gain out triggers and trauma with my voice. It's easier. It's actually not easy to do that when you don't want to hear your voice or when you've been mentally abused, gaslit, brainwashed, all this stuff. So I'm going to explain all of those aspects as I literally do the methodology live, which is to share the triggers, which January 6th, I believe is the date that allows me to absolutely accept that I have my voice back, and that because of the doctor asking, well, what's your methodology? And me saying, well, it probably won't happen until January 6th because I have a PT appointment, and only because I know it's going to go well will I be able to have the ability to discuss it, because it is very hard to talk in situations under stress. The worst was the board of directors for 2 years. I was able to practice and recognize, remember, data, same day, same time. Not really. They switched it up on me because they knew. They purposely triggered yelling, safety, non-response, and then they're super professional now. So well done, just like that school. So without the school, I wouldn't understand this situation, and then not have the trauma that I would have had not understand. Because advocacy is a dialogue, not a monologue, I will start also sharing the recordings of my voice, hopefully not with the voices of others. I'm going to remove them. It's going to take a long time to type up the transcripts and write it out, but I think it is worth it. And then as I understand how to share the story using technology and approaching something that I've always thought was part of rape culture, and also bullying and taking advantage of others, that Hollywood get happy, I don't know. And because you hear about it, champion. Judy Garland was my first experience with this, right? And I'm so glad for her, because what is that? With Broadway, it's acceptance and flair and fun and glitter. And that's why I suggested you have to have an outlet for this. I don't need to hear about your theories on strippers and crap. Oh my God. And titillating stuff. Can you not talk to your friends about that kind of stuff between you and I? It's like private. And if you do have to talk to your friends, maybe don't tell me. And then he knew this was going to be the thing. Well done. When you know things about people over how many years and you use that to purposely trigger, that's pretty sick. So how am I supposed to tell this without putting myself in harm's way, without making it worse, and also recording it, because the desire to help others is greatest. All right? That's it. The greatest, Ali. I do have a media on replay. That is why we want to remember and hold dear names and faces, and then people actually using those names and faces to profit on, when we're supposed to acknowledge our gratitude to every day is a gift, right? Because some people don't make it. Every day is a gift. Every second is precious. Do not slip into rhyme. So what you're going to hear next is what I thought was so pivotal, and also the stress of having to upload new material, only because I can't re-listen to a lot of this. I can hear myself in small chunks because the words I was forced to say. Do I have to rewrite those? Do I have to share those one day? I'm trying really hard to find a way to tell somebody, no, you never have to say what they did. But in some cases you might. Here's all the information so you know, so nothing shocks you, hits you in the face out of the blue, wants to goddamn choke and kill you, threaten with online shit. Are you kidding me? This is the trick. Alright, well, I'm above it because you expose yourself now. Well done. Was it worth it? That's the whole point. Is your behavior worth it? This is a parenting role, this is a teaching role, this is a mentor role, a preacher role, whoever it is that you role model to. You want to share your story and help others? Then, alright, publicly comment, because that's going to help me rewire my brain. That's why I'm giving gratitude to those that absolutely did that. So first of all, the girl who told me, oh my God, you don't talk to your cats? I'm like, I talk to my cats all the time. Do you sing to your cats? And I said, no, I don't do that. And that's why I really appreciate the time and the questions and being able to give you something that nobody was giving you. Restaurant food. All right. Anyway, this is not the first time with individuals who may take advantage of that. And there's lots of examples. I'm not trying to put this person down, but is that the reason why? Is that why? Because last time I asked you, hey. Anyway, it wasn't for you. It was to actually understand. Is that the only reason why? Somebody I've known for decades. Is that the only reason why? So thank you for helping me answer the question so that I can move on. I'm done with the trauma. It's the trauma that pops up in the form of memories, visual, audio, and tactile. I feel it in my body with chronic pain, neuroradiculopathy, and all the rest is all the same. Anyway, it's the word of others helping each other that got me through this. So I am preserving my words until I can hear myself and put them in the right order, because the thing that I know is my purpose was not to be violence against. I'm not worthless. The purpose is to end trauma, like I said. Rape culture, which is the violation of reality. When somebody mistreats you, contradicts, lies to your face, hypocrisy. as well as insane greed and putting money over everything and using others' weaknesses and triggers to get whatever you want and changing a narrative that you've lived with. What is this? Can somebody out there explain it to me faster? Because I'm doing my best to work on it, but if I can't read, go to the library, get my books, if I can't sit and think and use my notebooks, write notes and understand stuff, then I'm never going to get it. And who specialist is supposed to trust? I don't think so. So let me just share it publicly and you figure it out, because I don't have your name attached. Either you're honest and any verification, like I told the board of directors, don't tell me. Show me it. Show me the numbers. Explain to me where this money went. And why don't you answer some questions? You clearly can answer others. So these triggers and traumas are popping up on a daily, hourly basis. I'm done with it. What do I do with it? Well, the iCloud seems like a pretty good idea, because I had phones and all the memory was full. So technology fails. Unlimited memory, iCloud. Hey, it succeeds. Now let's find of that. And there's lots of examples. I'm not trying to put this person down, but is that the reason why? Is that why? Because last time I asked you, hey. Anyway, it wasn't for you. It was to actually understand. Is that the only reason why? Somebody I've known for decades. Is that the only reason why? So thank you for helping me answer the question so that I can move on. I'm done with the trauma. It's the trauma that pops up in the form of memories. Each other that got me through this. I am preserving my words until I can hear myself and put them in the right order, because the thing that I know is my purpose was not to be violence against. I'm not worthless. And all the memory was full. So technology fails. Unlimited memory, iCloud. Hey, it succeeds. Now let's fine-tune it to actually help survivors, victims, patients get off their knees. Yeah, that's putting away a trauma. Not mine. Not my trauma. The trauma of others. And why I said crap. Why I said, oh no, I can't keep doing it. I'm absorbing it. And that's why we're going to lose the fight. The good ones die. The good ones fatigue. The good ones give up. And they're the ones that we need. Like our beloved, the beloved queen. All right, sacrifice and duty. Without the internet, YouTube, I would never have come across her. And now I understand the royalty more, because Princess Diana was on our TV in the house. We didn't watch a lot of stuff, but there were things you consistently watch with your parents, right? And she was there, and that's why the AIDS. So thank you for the lessons. Epidemic. I didn't even have to accept too much time on them. No matter you guys extend your sexual orientation. All right, such a big deal. And if I can talk about consent, open. You know what? I did create something to noodle and doodle in a public forum and do it safely, while calling out individuals that showed me and said, "Hey, you can't keep doing this." So what was that behavior? You're going to explain it to me now, because the excuse that you provided is a trigger, because it's related to that other person. I already know how that all played out, because I followed the digital paper trail. Okay? Like the school. I've had practice at this, and yet I'm not keen on doing it without all my faculties, like raw writing and speech, and yet if I don't do it, I ain't gonna do it. But the memories will be there. All right? And next time they pop up, that's when I write. A lot of these notes, verbal notes that I'm making is to help me remember. Using the worst space, the place that will make me remember, because my adrenaline is up. That's the internet. So I used to YouTube very few things. A couple songs, a couple dance numbers, a lot of Dick Van Dyke, and folk music, like Bob Dylan, live, stuff like that. Because I didn't want people to hear what I was looking at, because I'm so private. That's why I had to go sit with somebody when they had a noise complaint to say, this is the stuff I listen to. It's not even loud. So they said the only thing that's kind of loud is the music. So we can turn it down. That's fine. But it's pretty low. And that's why the memory was. I did look at YouTube, but very infrequently. And those were the things I looked at. Old stuff, because I had to share with someone. I'm really into ancient history, ancient stuff, older people, Things are a little bit slower processing, maybe because my endocrine system likes it. The sensationalism is not for me. That brutality, that excitement. And that's why what I was looking at in Neptune's X family was the dramatization of emotion, because they don't understand. It's not about that. It's being consistent, reciprocating, polite, non-bullying, and holy crap, hatred of difference. All right, how you get a trigger out is just
Don't blink, learning happens faster than you think. And now that we dip it in ink, whose souls are beginning to sink.
I'd like to see who I'm talking to.
2.5.
There you are. That's
2.5.
There you are. That's better.
14.5.
There it is. You can
17,
get curly hair too.
20.
Not that hard, but that was the whole point. This person was always late. Okay, curly hair. It's not that hard actually. I didn't use any heat. So I got curly hair. I didn't use any heat. And I wasn't doing my hair. Didn't do it. Was doing other stuff. So you can get really big, awesome hair. Woo! And not make people wait. Or wait, no, you never showed up. That's right. So I had a girlfriend a long time ago. Oh my gosh. Not my friend anymore. But let's just say the last wedding I'll ever be in. Thank you. Woo, it'll be the last wedding I'm ever in, and why? I'm telling you. It's just, I didn't realize how shitty she was. Truly. Truly. Big curls, and I've got big curls. And guess what? I did not use any heat.
Behind the myth.
All right, big
And
curls. Whew. I was riding my bike well into December because that was around the time, well, I just remember using my bike to get someplace. I never walked to nor took the bus because I was thinking maybe eventually I'll take the bus, but it's maintained warmth last year. So this is different. It has gotten bitterly cold. What does that mean? That must mean something. I had to lose these numbers. I had to let them go. They started interrupting my flow. All I told people was, don't mess up my flow. Say what you got to say to me. Act that way, be that way. That's you, not me. Just kindly now dismiss yourself. I care about my mental health and the mental health of strangers more than yours. You're on your own. Take my advice and up yours. That's the rudest I'll ever get. Because you need to now forget. Your word, you're dead to me. What a thing to say to someone. Wow, for you to justify behavior when I had no concept or clue. Nobody told me, and when she finally did, and take a breath in shock. Now I'm unshocked, and I can greatly say, thank you for what you showed me that day. And F you. Because you won't kill my spirit in the same way. That's cray. Take away your crazy. Goodbye. I don't need your lies and changing of the narrative anymore in my life. That's mental illness. That's sickness. That's that school. That's that administration. That's that company. That's that poppy pop in my body that's going off now. And that's the first time I controlled it because I said, no, now, down. Right? You're dealing with a wild animal. That's Neptune. You can talk about how I had to think of him as a wild African beast, a baby panther, wild and mistreated, abused, angry, darkness, suicide. Before I realized what was happening, thank God, I had the cats. So I was never fully aware of my own. That's what fate does. It puts your needs aside. All right? Just do that automatically and you'll be fine. Thank you. Bye.
Derbyshire Police said they would review their decision to issue £200 fines to two women who drove 5 miles for a walk. John Donnison reports.
The pandemic may be yet to peak, but on a beautiful winter's day, London's parks were busy. A stroll and a coffee, as good as entertainment gets for many in these challenging times. But is the government's message to...
Makes any sense. Except that this is a very, very fragile man who is trying to process in real time his continued failures.
Yeah. Well, she's never had to face before, because every other time he's had any kind of either public or personal and private failures, he's been able to blame someone else, get mad at them, yell and rant long enough, throw his hair around, and then people just kind of back away and say, okay, we're sorry, darling. We'll go ahead and let you have your way. And so far, honestly, throughout his presidency, it's worked for him then too. And as these things start to not work out for him, he doesn't know this reality. He's like, wait, Mitch McConnell called Biden president-elect? I thought he was as big a piece of garbage as I am. And you were right, Donald, he is. But he's still worried about himself, just like you are. And now both of your intentions and political goals are in conflict with each other. That's the problem.
And look, so he is saying that it's rigged, very vague, very repetitive. These are reruns from a month ago.
Sorry guys, I can't take the banter, but just keep it up there. Thank you.
And because it feels like numbers is holding me very much so stuck, we're going to attempt by going deeper into numbers, by finding all numbers and removing them one and done. Because we're going to have to start planting that seed for the big city. I got ahead of country life, right? How you treat each other, right? Yeah, you don't fuck it up. Easy, done. This is what I'm going to tell you how to do this. You don't even see, can't even identify what company it is? Wow. All right, and then the next thing, this is wild. So the next thing that you do is then repeat it. So there's going to be an echo. I hear an echo. So when you hear it twice, I'm just validating that. It doesn't have to be every single time, otherwise it'd be constant. But some environments make it way worse. That's why I'm like, it's louder, it's more jarring. It's very hard to discern, and I would be very distracted. There goes my safety, and my safety is my number one priority. So because I'm recording now, there's a sense of security because I have my voice twice. I can represent that echo because I'm recording once in a video, which you can see if you go to SO Smiley. You'll have to find it. I don't know. The spelling's funky, but that's the point. It's a challenge. It's education. Do you want it? Yes or no? If you don't want it, then fine. But kindly leave the classroom so someone else can enter. Please talk about it. How do you make sure you stop getting injured by people that want to abuse you? Well, now I'm very aware. Not only was I aware before, but I went into a safe space, a classroom, which I didn't realize was what I was doing until, oh, is that what I was doing? Okay, that makes sense. Don't want to be around certain types of people. Business, advertising, oh my Lord. To some degree, sales. To many, many degrees now, tech. Yeah, why? And why? Think about the why. And that's another word I'm not willing to lose because I threw a party for someone really and made it really cute and made choices that were adhering me in a way because throwing parties for others is like one of the nicest things one can do. So what the heck? So I did that and there's pictures and it's like happy, but it's also like you didn't do thank you notes. That was the final step. Thank you, because that's what one does. Anyway, so I'm trying to put all this now together, this media. We'll have to go back in time a bit. We lost some time there with the video because I didn't notice the low battery. Low battery means it's going to pause, and that means at one point there'll be a black hole. There's the image. Boom, hits me in the face. Done, but I don't linger. Other times I can linger in a other way. Black hole, it's on television maybe, who knows? On a computer. I haven't picked up a print. I have not. So now, picked up the video part in ages. Go to the video part. To hear that. This I will hear this. I'll remove some things, flash images. This background sound I'll play with. I'll hear it shoot like recording. Stuff like, oh crap. And I had headphones in, so I don't even know if I was even recording any of that. Which maybe is good why I'm recording this here.
I'm just gonna
copy it, splice it.
drop the seed for fashion.
Thank you. What I'm trying to say. Morality. I knew it from the very beginning because it was Arthurian novel, and the sword and the stone, the one true and future king. What does this mean for us peons? Just means die naturally and have the life you want to live. Choose and help others because you got there. All right, thanks. I got there again. just chill in my body. Wherever I am in life, it works. All right. Last toke ever. Then we're done. Thank you. Yeah. It's maybe damn. I told you it's gonna happen. I don't need it to feel my. I've said it multiple times now. Multiple times. I don't feel mine. So does that make sense? So we are now. Don't need it. It's not gonna be. This is the last one. I feel it. Thank you. How would you label them? You can label people as they are relationship to you. And also frequency, intensity, severity of goodness and horridness they dump on you. What has changed? Well, a lot. Because I recognize how limited this is.
Welcome to the intro. Welcome. How never to buy a house.
Yeah, you suck. Yeah, take it over there too. Whatever.
It's a beast, one as tall as a mountain. We won't rest till he's caught in the sea. Sally forth, tally ho, grab your sword, grab your bow.
Here we
Sally
go.
forth, tally ho, grab your sword, grab your bow.
Get the picnicking.
Oh my gosh.
She's picnicking.
This is so much easier with numbers.
Got something prepared in case I needed to use it, and I just randomly chose this. It's the longest one. That's when my editing wasn't so good, and I found it. The sword. Hello.
The actual message.
That's the Scarab Club in Detroit. There it is. And that's Ivy.
The sword.
I promised myself if I got through a first flow on a topic that nobody was ever supposed to know, private and secret, the only person I really told was the one who obviously had to know. So I'm being a little cryptic because it's a private thing. Then later I'll connect everything. Because that's how it works. It has to come out. He's overt. A shout out loud. I understand the way my mind works. New strengths, new weaknesses, new loves, but no old hurts.
We are floating in space already. Don't you feel it? The ship's in the air? I do. My body, I can check it. Be in pain, but not consent to pain. Hell no. That's the issue with behaviors of all the people throughout all these years, decades. I have put together as one villain, but come on, it's the symbolism. You can find your bits and pieces and hopefully figure out yours and your strategy to get out before more mental. That's part of it. How long can you manage? I can't do this very much longer, so for me it's 11 years. Thank you. Bye. Knowing Neptune.
In my house being antsy, I gotta get out. One person
I'm like
knows
all the
that.
time.
Well,
I gotta move.
Besides my family. Life. So yeah, why do I have to change? Why can't society change? Because they're the ones deranged. They're the ones, oh God, with mange. Going back to kitties and showing their belly, that means they're feeling safe. This is a word that was used over and over again, and it will never erase the violence that happened. That's oppression, that's silence, and why I know to fight it is to just share the story of those who aren't able to speak because of the denial, the betrayal, and the abandonment of education, healthcare, housing, and employment, obviously. Treatment, that's what it goes down to. Okay, I think that's done, right? It just dawned on me that I can send you a video. So I'm walking back to the hotel. We're going to the leather district today, which is where you can get inexpensive leather goods because it's the leather capital. But yeah, Buenos dias. I don't know, it's very hilly. I don't know if you would have been able to walk much because it is so hilly. But Mr. O did really well. Ron is here. Godfather Ron is here. All right. You have to be careful about trucks. Very old, obviously, but it's really good and quiet. People are very nice. The history of the People's Museum was Roman numeral X. That's how you basically get the underground system and non-underground freeway. It's pretty messed up. Anyway, but
Hi, this is Smarty MC with SmarterThanTrauma presents all the compositions at once, and I don't have to keep repeating it because I won't remember. I have to accept that there is something very different about my memory. Not the events of what happened, not the issues with linear time telling and difficulty sequencing and function without the use and understanding of numbers, which was recently attained, contained, sustained, maintained on Thank God Christmas Day. Why? Because I was inundated in a safe space and my brain went, whoa, pop, processing stopped. And everything that I learned before, a priori, what I got in stir in galore. What, you want more? My love bombs in galore. That's what war is for. Flipping it. Flip the switch to tell us all the things that explain why we exist. Are we ready to do it? I need real advocates, people that like facts and how behavior and words do and do not match up. That's why you gotta be extra tough for this rougher stuff.
Oh, that's
those are the ones that are most corrupt, doing hypocritical things with the words that matter most to me. I'm a Salui teacher, special ed, a prep giver. Oh, right, don't listen to me. I'm going to tell you about a place long ago as I write the Keep words your butts on a pen and pencil, la la la. In the first lesson, plan of the first activity task that we do is make a sense shield out of a hashtag. Keep them clean. 9, then 10 for the auditing is the next sequencing number that I'm going to learn over and over again because that's all you need to wake up and do this. What? Poof. It just said it. And proactivity. Wake up. The 3 marketing do this life, this day, just over. I now reject and over again. This first symbol will be the color red. Defined by me in a theatrical setting, which means full-on sensory.
How many bags worth of garbage was there?
And then came later up, just confused. Repetition of story and let you look down and see what it is. Okay. That's why anxiety, sobriety, I did that for you. Let me explain what chronic pain is and how the color red became a trigger for me because of someone's inability to listen and the repetition of their anxiety, sobriety. What's the excuse now? Is it too much, too little? It just kind of ebbs and flows, whichever the way wind blows. Whichever works for you in the moment, I see, and now you're using this for the word disability, and I reject that too. Thank you, everyone. I guess this is what I was born to do. If I don't have a classroom to do this in, I have 1 student left. Let's begin. They really like things to be super crystal clear. Morality, number 1. Friends, family. Chants and cheers. Really? Cheerleading is the only achievement for the entire time in what? Period of high school?
You want to eat well. Identify your food. Let's start with cooking versus going out to eat.
I don't want to say back then, but yeah. Back then, before, what's it called? Let us entertain you? Anything else?
Thank you.
I hear myself asking, anything else? Get all out. Anything else? You want to dump on me in this moment? Get all out. Get all out. Get it all out. Food super fast or super slow. It's really just about the way people deal with consent. Because, like I said, for those that absolutely require a space for that containment until they're capable of problem solving when they're ready to, and yes, that's what I consent to. You individualize it to do. It has happened. I don't remember what I reported before, even though I thought it was the most important thing. So time will help, but how much time? 9 years or several weeks? Faster, instantaneously means no instantaneous defeat. Defeat from what? Suicide. That's when pride gets buried deep inside. Or when a principal, oh my God, hide. Because the question was every day, where's the classroom for my students? Hello, hip hip hooray, we won today. Because their teacher finally gets to say the things, she, he, it, they, them, whatever your pronoun may be. Just call me by my first name, because I don't teach you no more. And for now, for those I don't know, it's Smarty MC. For those who truly know me, you can call me by my first name, as you know me. Thank you.
So as I'm talking, I'm going to start showing photos that are completely not related to anything that I'm saying, but the goal is to break this up. So you're just going to see the photos and I'm going to start organizing them into folders because I wasn't able to do that before. If you need to support a skill set that you don't have, like using folders online and labeling them, then do it in bits and pieces. The first step is